Here we go. So, sitting up nice and tall in the chair. Make sure the feet are on the floor. Sit up tall, tummies in. Heels. You can go at your own pace, as long as you follow the move. Last one. Breathe. Breathe again. Shoulders. Take hold of the imaginary board and circle. Just switch shoulders. If you're doing this workout standing, take the feet slightly apart. Change direction. Sway side to side. You should feel the waist working. Come back to centre. And just push. Last one, breathe in. And tap the toes. Okay, that's sitting up tall. Ankles, biceps. Good. Keep that tummy in. Sit up tall. March. Slow shoulder. So I'd like to know where you got the lotion. Said I'd like to know where you got the lotion. So I'd like to know where you got the lotion. Said I'd like to know where you got the lotion. And come back the other way. Last time, hands on knees, ankles. Lift and lower. Then the toes. Ankles. Toes. You might need to bring your feet further forward to lift a bit higher. One of these. Slow it down, circle.
Your touches fill me like the rush of the wind.
Circle.
And your arms have helped me say I'm alone at sea.
And back.
It's always been a quiet place for harmony.
Take a breath in, breathe up, hold on. Breathe in. One more either side. Hold. Just swing the arms up
going to take the knee out and in. So out, in. Watch the foot. The foot stays under the knee. So lift, replace. It doesn't have to be too high. But don't let the foot do this. I don't want to say that or that. Yeah? Really bad for the knee. It's got to be one unit in. And again. On, we go. Out, in, up, down. Out, in, up. If your arms pull you off, just do the legs. Out, in, up, down. Out, in, up, last one. Front leg and back leg. Forward and back. Now you can just tap the heel at the front or tap the toe at the front. Doesn't matter too much for this step. If you're standing for this, I would do toe and back, toe and back. But if you're seated, you can do either. Change the legs. Toe or heel. Sit up tall. Keep that tummy connected. Then we're going back, out and in. Out, in, reach. Can we do both arms? One leg. One more. Shake the arms out. Shake it out. Circle it out. Breathe in. One more breath and we're going to go from sit to stand. Hold it there. Well done. Okay. Now we're going to do slightly different today. We're going to do 15 seconds sit to stand normal, and then the next 15 seconds is going to be stand up, hover, sit down. So it's a little bit harder. So you're all fine to do this, but if you don't like the hovering, then just do normal sit to stand. So shoulders back, either hands on the thighs or hands, you're going to come all the way up, all the way down, but I'm going to time us. I'll give you a counting. Have a breather. Are we ready? Whew. And 3, 2, 1. Stand up, sit down, and do it in your own time. I'm not going to continue. I don't want you going at the speed I'm going at. You choose. Carry on. 3, 2, 1, stop. Right, now, up, hover, down. I'll do a couple and then you carry on. 3, 2, 1. Stand up, hover, sit down. Now you might find with the hover, you want your hands here. Hover. Carry on. I'll do one more with you. So we stand up, hover, sit down. You've only got 3, 2, 1, rest. Well done. Breathe in, breathe out. If you need a sip of water, please get one because I'm sweating already and we're sitting down, it's still hot. Okay. So sit forward and take the feet slightly apart and just start a little sway. We're going to start to lift the shoulders. You can go as slow as you want, or you can stay with me. Sway across. Lift with the elbow. 60 style. Or just shoulders. You might not want to do a backstroke, so I'm going to give you an easy option. Last one. Shoulder back. Easy option. The backstroke. Or back. Back. And just. And that's it, okay? Are you ready? Sway. Work the waist. 60 style. Restaurant. Swing. Sit up tall. Push. One more. Back stroke. Start shoulders. Then if you're okay with that, back stroke. Over the top of the head. Push. Last one. March. Good. Now we're going to come into a little cha-cha-cha. So, the basic rhythm is 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Out, in. You can just miss out the cha-cha. Out and in. Out, in. Here we go. Shoulders back. Or back stroke. Tap the toes. Lift the knee. Sit up. Try not to lean back when you lift the knee. Ankles, biceps. New move coming up. Straight leg here. Let me see. Sway. I will take the feet a little bit apart on the sway. 60 star, just 4. Swim. 2, 3. Backstroke. Just for 4. 4. All the way up. And last one. Lift the knee. Up. Stay up and then straighten the leg out. Arm and leg straight. Good. Out to the side. 1, 2. 1, 2. You then go to both arms, but not both legs. 4 more here. Good. Push it up. One more. Now just roll. And reverse. 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 Just tap. So what we're going to do reach, tap, reach, tap, reach. You can keep the ankles moving, talking and tapping. So you can tap without the ankles, or you can keep the ankles going. Now I'm going to change the arm direction. So tap, open the shoulder, or tap, march it out. It's the heat, it's getting to me. And breathe. Well then, you should be nicely warmed up now. Hopefully not worn out. Good. Shoulders back. Shake it out. Breathe in. Stay where you are. Okay, well done. Have a drink of water and then have your equipment handy. We're going to start with the bender ball or the cushion, and then we'll go on to the bands. So hopefully you're nicely warmed up now. I am. Good. We don't need to do too much cardio. We need to build muscle. That's really where the emphasis should be. Bit of cardio is good, but you're walking around in the day, etc. I really want you to focus on balance, core strength, and building the leg muscles. So from now on, we're going to do a little section. How long have we got? Oh, we've got loads of time. 10 minutes, I think, we'll do on Pilates, seated Pilates. So you've got to think about your posture. So sit up tall. Obviously the pelvis is fairly fixed when you're sitting, so that's quite good for Pilates. It's got to stay strong, but try not to do this as you get tired. If you get tired, have a rest, but don't do the exercises slumping forward. Sit up nice and tall, tummies gently in. Find a point that you can hold reasonably comfortably. Okay, so we're just going to start off just here. Whoop. If you drop the ball, do it without. All we're going to do is swing back and here. And while we're doing this, we're trying to keep this bit very still and this bit very relaxed. I'm not tensing the shoulders, I'm just holding the middle. Feet are nicely balanced. Okay. Now if I just moved from exactly where I am now and lay down on the floor, the knees would be exactly in this position because they'd be up in tabletop, as they call it. So we've got a nice 90-degree angle with the knees. We've got the shoulders relaxed, the head relaxed. We're in a good position here. And we're doing a very simple exercise to begin with. Just holding on. Last one. And now, relax. Now, if you can't hold gently in for that long, it doesn't matter, have a break, join back in, shake it all out. Good. So this time, again, start off same position. This time we're going to slide down to the side and then forward and back. So we're going to do we'll do 4 on one side. So this is all about working the side of the waist but keeping the core gently pulled in. It shouldn't be so tight that it's uncomfy to move. It's just a gentle holding in and relax. Have a breather, gently pull in again, check everything's nicely level, and we come down and up. Having the ball to do this, I think it just helps to focus where the movement's going, and it gives you a little bit of something, attention, you know, to really focus mind and body. And saying that, I can't remember if that's 3 or 4, so we'll do one more. Good, and rest, breathe in. Now this next time we're going to put the ball under one foot. So if you've got a cushion, pop it under your foot. And if you haven't, don't worry, just follow the exercise, but you're just going to be pushing like that. So I'm sitting up tall, tummy's in, I'm just pushing down, down, energy. Now, again, if I was lying on the floor and my knees were up above the hips, I'd be pushing the foot out towards the stage normally. So this exercise is really good for tackling a little bit lower down in the abs, but you've got to keep the shoulders relaxed. But because we're doing it like this, we're also working the leg quite a bit and hold down. Pull the tummy in a little bit more and just take this foot off the floor. Now, this should be really engaging down here. I can feel all that working underneath the lockdown flab. I can feel all those muscles working. And relax, well done. Bring the ball to the centre, sit up. Breathe in, breathe out. Now hold the tummy in, bring the hands to the front. Bring one elbow back as if you're pulling back on a bow. If you feel okay and you don't tend to get dizzy, because even in a chair you can get dizzy, we're going to take the head, bow and arrow, pull back, come in, pull back, come in, pull back, come in, lovely. Keep that tummy. As soon as you think your tummy's gone, stop, re-engage it. Last one, and relax it down, good. Bring the ball over. Check your position. Okay, just get it right underneath the knee. So my knee is directly over my ankle. And again, we just pull the tummy in and press a little bit down. If you don't want to do the pressing, just rest the leg there because that's still working the muscle. But by pressing down, you've just got a little bit more going on. Push, 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 push. And hold. Pull in another. Quite tight now. Lift the leg if you can. Relax those shoulders and neck muscles. Everything here is working. Nothing much there. And relax. Well done. Breathe in. Bring the ball just between the ankles. If you've got a cushion there, that's fine. If you haven't, just make sure knees are over ankles. Sit up tall and just hold it. I want you to pull up from here, lift up from the glutes, shoulders down. Little bit of pressure on that ball if you've got it there, so you just squeeze in with the ankles but not with the knees. And just hold the ankles there, squeeze the cushion. You'll feel a little bit of work here. And relax. Now we're going to take the ball, bring it up above the knees. Feet again about 4 inches apart so that when you squeeze the ball, they line up nicely. And let go. Squeeze the ball. So start off just in the thighs. Squeeze, let go. Squeeze. Now, if you want to make this a bit more complex, when you squeeze the knees in, you're going to squeeze the glutes that you're sitting on. So squeeze and lift, let go. 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 Last one, hold it up, pull that tummy in even more. Relax the shoulders. Sit back in the chair now. Relax the shoulder, relax the tummy. Just have a little loosen off. Breathe in again. Now we're just going to work on wrist strength and hands. So hold on to the ball, quite loose, just fingertips for the first exercise. Second exercise, heel of the hands. But first exercise, fingertips. So just sit up tall and just squeeze, let go. Now I know some of you have got different arthritic conditions in the hand. Just use your judgment on whether you can do this. It is important, as you know, to strengthen even if you've got arthritic joints, but to do it gently. Once you start moving them, they just seize up worse from what I've been told. So, from what I've read, you know. But I know they can be quite sore. So we don't want to make it worse. We just want to strengthen the hand. If that is, me sweating, if that is too much for you, keep going. You can just open the hands and rest them on the ball, because just by opening the joints like this, they're probably having a good stretch. So if you don't want to do the squeezing, just rest the hands, but try and open the joints a little bit. Good. Last couple. And rest. Shake it out. Good. Give it a little circulation wiggle. Now, heel of the hands. Don't worry about the fingers. They are now just resting there. Shoulders down. And we're just going to squeeze and let go. Squeeze and let go. Now, you can do it down here. It uses different muscles, really. If it's down there, using more the back of the shoulder. If you come up here, you'll feel it more around here, the front of the armpit. So we're going to do a few here, and then we will lower it down. So if you can't have it up there, that's okay. We'll join you lower down later on. Now if you can squeeze and hold, but relax the shoulders. I don't want the shoulders up there, relax. Let go, lower down. I'm just going to do 6, squeeze. Can you feel the difference? It's quite a different feel, just lowering the hands that little bit. Last one. Rest, well done. How are we doing? We're doing okay. Toning bands, I'm only going to do 2 exercises on the toning bands. That's all we're going to do. So we're going to sit forward in the chair, place the band, they don't stay broad, but if you can have a nice quite broad band, I've got shiny trousers on, it's just slipping off, wrap it underneath and and bring it back up to the top. It's not happening today, is it? Wrap it underneath, hold on to it. Sometimes I finish, bring it back up to the top. Now, if you've got slim legs, it will come all the way round to the top. If you haven't, a bit more like me, chunky legs, it might not come back up to the top. It doesn't matter. Wherever those ends meet, hold the whole band together. All you want is to feel a little bit of resistance. I don't want you to make them meet and then find you can't move the leg. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope so. Sit up tall. So now we're just exactly like before. Take the knee out and in. Now you just want to feel a little bit of resistance from this band, and it'll just make the muscle work a bit harder. If you have it closer down to the knee, it's going to be a bit harder. If you have it higher up, it's a little bit easier. But don't change the shape. The foot must stay under the knee. And that's all we're doing. Now, on the next one, you're going to hold it open. So just hold. I'm not going to make this complicated or hard today. It is too hot. But just holding that there, keeping that knee directly over the ankle. Don't let it come in. You're making this muscle work, but you must keep it straight. Really important for this. You must keep it straight. Come in. Take the other. So even if you go there, I'd rather you did a tiny movement and keep it in the right position than do this. That's not what we want. And I see a lot of people do that. And it's just because where your knee goes naturally, but I'm asking you to really stick with that there, because I want to work these muscles that help us step in and out of things. Baths, cars, shops. They help you get in and out of shops. Hey. Hold, 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 and relax. Well done. Now we're just going to do 4 singles on each leg. 4 on this leg, 4 on here. So we'll just do 4 on their own. Think about the movement coming from the hip rather than anywhere else. Change. 4. And rest. Okay, shake it out. Now bring the elbows close to the body, rest that on your knees, sit up tall, and then just take them slightly wider. So that's straightforward. Start there, slightly wider, breathe in. And then just squeeze and come back. Now you can do this one nicely, like here, without the band. So if you've got any shoulder, elbow issues and you want this to be nice and gentle, just do it here. If you want to put a little bit of resistance in, it's quite loose in the middle. It's not a strong band in the middle because we're taking it quite wide out. So when you come back, it's quite loose. Out. Good. Lovely. Just one last one, and then we are going to stretch and relax. Well done, folks. Just sit back in your chair. I'm going to put us a nice little relax track on. Good stuff. And then we're going to have a little stretch. Just shake everything out while I'm just putting this music on. Here we go. That's a bit too upbeat, isn't it, for what I want? So just sit up tall, come towards the edge of the chair if you need to get your feet on. Hands turned up, just rest. Breathe in. Breathe in. Bring one ankle to the front, pull the toes up, sitting on the edge of the chair, but make sure you're not going to slip off. Pull the toes in, feel a stretch in the calf. Everything else, just relax. And shake it out. Other leg straight out, pull the toes in, stretch the calf. Hold it there. And relax. Well done. Sit up tall again. Take one leg out. This time we're going to bend from the top of the hip here. So we hinge forward. Keep the leg straight. Hinge forward. Rest on your supporting leg. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, you won't get very far with this, because it's a big stretch. If you round down, you won't feel anything. It's got to be a long back. So you really are hinging rather than rounding over. Breathe and relax. Soften the knee and round up. Other leg out. Sit up tall. From here, reaching forward. And slowly come back, sit up tall, sit back in the chair. One hand on the side of the chair, reach up and over. If you don't want to reach up the arm, just lean over. You still get a nice side bend here. So if your shoulders have had enough, leave the hand by the side. Breathe in. Reach over. Breathe in. Okay, sit back in the chair, arch it out and round over. Drop the chin. Breathe in, lift up. Open wide. Breathe out, push the hands back and lower down. Shoulders back, lovely. How are you feeling? Let me come over, have a little chat. Ah, good stuff. Hi folks. Just say goodbye to my YouTube. Goodbye YouTubers, see you soon.